Joining right now on Kumite TV is XFC bantamweight champion Aaron Toe. What's going on, Aaron? How's life treating you?
What up, brother? Yeah, life's good. Life's good. Today's the day I resigned from my job. Work a full-time job selling tools for Solco equipment. So today's a good day.
It is, man. Now, what does the future hold for you since you are quitting your job, your full-time job? Why did you decide to do that today?
I'm at a point where I need to go all in. So I'm coming up to my next title defense on XFC in Dunedin on September 11th, and I've come to the conclusion that if I want to make something of myself in this industry, I need to invest in myself and in my future of being an MMA fighter. So I've decided to quit my 9 to 5 and take up full-time training, and also run a fight promotion called the Bucket List. So we just set out resignations for that at the moment, and yeah, we got a lot of hits, so it's looking good.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Before we get into your title defense, I wanted to kind of rewind and talk about your career so far. I know you have a grappling background, but could you break down to us what exactly that means?
So I left New Zealand when I was about 15, headed over to Aussie, and to get away from, I'd say, like a bad culture of being violent and aggressive, I decided to take up a martial art that wasn't so violent and aggressive. Managed to find an awesome jiu-jitsu school called Infinity Martial Arts in Brisbane, North Lakes. And yeah, I found myself a home there with Kieran Cronin, Tuava, and the rest of the team. And I started as a white belt, like everyone does, and got beat up from everyone under the sun, and slowly just progressed in my career as a BJJ athlete. Did a few competitions, grappling industries, the South Pacific, Southeast, Queensland titles, and all that kind of stuff that comes with it. And then, yeah, I just progressed slowly until my coach decided to do MMA, and that's how I transitioned across. So just to help him, because we were in the same weight class, to help him get ready for fights, I'd start sparring again. And yeah, I fell in love with it. The mix of being aggressive, controlling range, and then being smart about your movements, it just ignited something different that I haven't felt for a long time. So it was cool.
So how was it when you first stepped into the cage for your first amateur fight? Like, was the nerves crazy for you, or did you feel like it was natural, something that you're born to do?
I'll tell you what I tell everybody. It's like a fight at school. You know, when you're a teenager or you're a young kid at school and you have beef with people, naturally you're going to run into colliding personalities. And I grew up in a pretty rough place up north in New Zealand called Okaiho, and the natural way of solving these problems for us, or back then, was you just tell the person you want to fight them. So the morning comes, that's pretty much like the call out. You know, you say to this person, "Oh, I'm going to fight you at lunchtime." Then you have the build up. You know, you got 3 classes before lunchtime comes. So the anticipation, and then everyone coming up to you going, "Oh, you're going to fight this person." It's all happening lunchtime. Or where is it going to happen? And then when lunchtime hits, the nerves they crash into you, and you're walking with the crowd of people, or the crowd of people is walking towards you. You see the person, and then you fight. And I feel like that is literally what happens when you fight in the cage. It's I feel like that actually got me ready for the emotions that come with having a fight in the cage.
If you've been in a schoolyard fight, you understand exactly what you're talking about.
100%.
So yeah.
The nerves, and all the expectations from everybody else, the way people approach you. I feel like it's exactly the same, because people want the best for you, but they also want to be around the person that's going to win. You know, they want to anticipate your feelings, and they want to jump on this chaotic bandwagon with you that may crash and burn, or you might light up the sky. So that's pretty much how I feel about it.
After some success in the amateur ranks, you turned pro 2019. How did you know you were ready?
Uh, yeah, that was an actual surprise. So
Mhm.
when I got here after winning the Dan Hooker mentorship, I trained for probably like 8 months, and I was expecting to go into an amateur tournament or some kind of New Zealand fight scene, amateur fight scene. And then Dan just said to me a couple of weeks out, he's like, "You got a fight booked?" I was like, "Cool." And then just training, fight camp training, cardio, all the horrible stuff. And then probably 2 weeks out, it's like, "Yeah, you're pro now." And I was he like just brushed past the typical Dan Hooker style. He just brushes over it, like doesn't even matter. He's like, "Oh, it's a pro fight, yeah, 5 minute rounds," and then just walks away. So I didn't make the decision at all. It was my coach, and he must have felt I was ready. And yeah, it happened on a big stage in King in the Ring. Yeah, that was 2019. That was a while
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah, man. And yeah, I watched that fight. That was a tough fight. 2 rounds. You went balls to the wall. Did you feel like you gassed a little bit towards the end of the second round? Because everyone was talking about that
100,
mostly, right?
100% gassed, man.
Yeah.
So this is, I don't know if it was a learning curve from Dan, but we have a set schedule for your cardio, for your fitness, and things like that. And I thought that I was doing the standard at which you needed to do for this level. And obviously, he was just pre-cooking me. There wasn't a full cooking cycle, so he could show me that this is something that, for the fighting style I have, because I'm so aggressive, I try and push the pace. If I do get my hands on you, I do want to use my strength. So for my fighting style, I need to have a high level of cardio. Otherwise, as you can see in that 2 round fight, towards the end, you look like you're a burning plane falling towards the earth. But managed to come away with the win, luckily. Yeah, so definitely a learning curve for me.
Yeah, that's all that matters, man. And you got back-to-back wins 2019, and then the next year, the pandemic hit pretty hard. You didn't compete for almost 14 months. What was life like during that time?
Um, Life was just, it actually never changes for me. It's from the outside, it looks a little bit different, but I just wake up, I work 9 to 5, I train 3-4 hours a night. Saturdays and Sundays we train at the Combat Academy. Life is just, what's that movie? Is it Groundhog Day?
Yeah, yeah. Every day's the
Life,
same.
life, life is Groundhog Day for me, bro. I wake up, I eat, I work, I train, I eat, I go back to sleep. I spend time with my kids and my missus and my training partners, and that happens every day without a doubt. I had a bit of a layoff after my second fight. I broke my right hand, so I needed some time for surgery, healing, and that kind of stuff, and then to work it back into my training. So I spent a lot of time improving my left hand and my kicks while I couldn't use my right hand. And then once I got my right hand back, I just needed to make sure that we're ready to go again, and we're good as new.
Yeah, you were good as new. You returned October 2020 and won the title. How good did it feel to have that strap wrapped around your waist, man? What were the emotions like that night?
Oh, so that was a weird emotion. I had a nephew pass away on a motorbike accident, and he was the one that pushed me heaps to do what I'm doing, and that ended up being more so for him than it was for me. So once I won the title, I took it back and put it on his gravestone, and that's where it stayed ever since, and it will stay there forever. So yeah, his name was Waka, and it meant a lot to me, and it was just I didn't really get to enjoy it the way that most people would enjoy that kind of thing, but coming around the second time, I got to experience those emotions for myself, which was cool. It's when you work hard every day towards something, and no one else can see what you see and feel what you feel. In that moment, it means more than words can explain. The cool thing is everyone likes to celebrate.
Yeah.
So you can take all of those people that you love and care about, and invest all those emotions into them and just have a crazy night or 10.
10. Well, that was an emotional, title victory. But then when you came back and defended the title for the first time earlier this year, you actually fought the same guy you fought in your debut, but ended up knocking him out. Like going through that 2 hard rounds, where you learned a lot from, and then returning against the same guy many fights later. Did you envision something like that happening against Logan Price?
I just knew that the level that I was when we first fought and the level that I am now were in no comparison. There's the person as a fighter that I am now, I level up every week. Like training with Dan Hooker, Mark Timms, Kieran Joblin, like those are names that will echo through my future because they made me and they're still making me a better fighter every day. And I just knew once I was in there, all I had to do was feel him out and I would find a hole, and it just so happened it was within 40 seconds. So I pay homage to my coaches for that one, and just them making me hold a standard that I feel will put me in some pretty good places in the near future.
Definitely. And you mentioned Dan Hooker Combat Academy and the mentorship, the scholarship that you earned. How has it been, man, working with Dan? Because we mostly see Dan Hooker the fighter, but Dan Hooker the coach, what is it like?
He's a hard man, I tell you. He's definitely a hard man. But he never asks you to do something that he would never do. So whether it's the training, whether it's anything to do with your fight career, he'll just direct you the way in which he wishes he was directed. And you can tell by the amount of time that he puts into his students. He puts a lot of time into us, and you'll see him pretty much every weekend at a fight show. He doesn't stop. It doesn't end for him. It's like that's how he functions. He just continuously puts energy into other people. And it seems to be paying off. We've grown a real strong team at the Combat Academy. And I think there's going to be some more people following me towards the goal that we want to reach. But as a person, as a coach, he works hard. We work 7 days a week. There's no time off. There's no. We have small. He calls it a book tour. So every time after I fight, I just like to go and give my energy to people that I don't see, like my family and friends that miss out on occasions with me because I'm in fight camp or training every day. So he says I go away on a book tour for a couple of weeks and then I come back in, but then we get back to work. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. He's a smart guy. His fight IQ gets talked about a lot, but it's not till when you're with him and he breaks things down that you realize, like, whoa, the picture that you see and the picture that I see are very, very different. We might be watching the same movie, but what's going on up here is miles apart.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And now you are heading into your second title defense, XFC 52. Nick Thornton is the challenger. What is your breakdown of him?
Nick's game. I'll give him that. He's definitely game. Doesn't shy away from a challenge. I think he's a brown belt, jiu-jitsu. And since being matched up, so we both fought on the last card together. He fought Caleb Lally, who I won the title from, and he finished him same thing in like 40 seconds. I think Caleb shot in. He sunk a deep guillotine and finished it just like that. So he's not to be mucked around with, that's for sure. And he's also had 3 other fights since I fought. So he's very busy, very active. I feel like he'll try and use his length a bit and then maybe work towards jiu-jitsu strength. I think it's a good fight. It's a good contrast of styles. I'm going to be pushing the pace and putting him under pressure, and he's going to be wanting to work his game. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. Definitely excited.
It also helps, today you get to go full time, right? So you don't even have to worry about anything. You just have to worry about that fight now coming up.
That is the beauty of not having a job. hey, I'm pretty lucky. So yeah, I'm going to use the most of it, and I'll really. I feel like this is going to be where I reach a new level. You know, I train 4 hours a night, but the majority of my days spent making someone else money. So now I'm going to invest in myself, and the same way that when I fought Logan the first time and the second time, I feel like the toes up of the future is going to be a lot different to the one that you're speaking to right now.
With your team, you mentioned, you're part of Combat Academy, but are there other individuals that are vital for your preparations?
100%. We have Nathan Law. He's southpaw, quite a bit bigger than me, but just dealing with his power and his strength, and he's a real clean, crisp southpaw. So having that on my team is real helpful. I also have Yes and Yes, who will be fighting in Apex in a couple of weeks. That's like a King in the Ring tournament. Real high level kickboxer, did Muay Thai for a long time. Then I also have Veer Ando. He's signed to one championship. He was an XFC champion as well. He's a flyweight. Between him, Levi Hawks, and Jack McLean, we're all the same weight. So whether it's striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, we have a real high level look around us. So we all push each other. We all compete. There's no one that's always on top. Everyone's fighting for that top spot. So I'm the one in the sun right now, but there'll come a time when Combat Academy starts taking over a few more shores. So look out for that.
Oh, definitely will be. And how do you see yourself winning this fight? How do you see yourself taking out Nick Thornton?
There's a few levels to it. I'll see how he deals with the striking. And then if he wants to try, he's a lot taller than me. So if he's going to want to take this to the ground, he will have to shoot or clinch. I feel like my strength in the clinch will work to my favor, and also my size. If he tries to take me down, like to drop your level below my waist, it's going to be a bit of a mission. I'm 167 centimeters. I think he's like 180, and he's quite a long guy. So if he does decide to shoot, my wrestling's going to show up this time. So I haven't had a great opportunity to show the rest of my game. I feel like Nick will make me work as a mixed martial arts fighter. I won't be able to just do one aspect of it. So whether I lay him down with strikes, whether I counter his wrestling, whether I reverse him in the clinch, there's a few roads to victory, and I feel like anyone he takes will find him with their L on the beside his name. But no disrespect to Nick, I feel like this is going to be a good challenge for me.
Where do you see yourself in 2022? Do you see, like, maybe I would defend this title a couple more times and then I get to the Contender Series, or are you thinking like, okay, I'm going to go straight to the UFC? It's like,
I definitely have goals. I definitely have things in my sights, but all those decisions up to Dan. I wouldn't even bother commenting on it,
Okay.
give you some false information, because it'll be fake news, as Mr. Trump says. I don't want to give you fake news, but I'll give you some real news. If you do want to know, Mr. Hook is the man to ask. But personally, there's no one left in New Zealand. Unless they open up the borders to Australia. There's a few people calling my name. It's like Destiny's Child, say my name, say my name. Yeah, I see you. But yeah, asking you shall receive. So be careful if you keep running your mouth. I'll come and find you. But yeah, that's all up to my coach.
Yeah, man, September 11th, XFC 52 co-main event. Aaron, man, I'm glad I got to catch up with you, man. I see some big things in your future.
Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate it a lot. And if you're in New Zealand and you want to sign up to the bucket list, hit me on bucketlist401 at outlook.com, and we'll get you training with the best. Thank you very much, brother.